A gripping tale set in the oh-so-original dystopian future of 2067, where Mother Earth is apparently on her deathbed, all thanks to climate change, the groundbreaking concept that hasn't been overused at all. Brace yourself for the thrilling ride through a world so wrecked that even cockroaches are contemplating relocation. So, here we are, in the year 2067, where the planet resembles the aftermath of a particularly wild frat party. Climate change has done its magic, and surprise, all plant life is as extinct as good plot ideas in Hollywood. Oxygen, the stuff we breathe, has taken a hit too. Now you can't just casually inhale anymore. You have to buy your oxygen like it's the latest iPhone. Capitalism survives even when everything else is in shambles. 99% of the world is in darkness. And guess what? People are dropping like flies, or more accurately, like flies without air. But hold your gas mask, because there's a shining beacon of hope. One city in Australia has miraculously survived. And you won't believe who we have to thank for this miracle. Chronocorp, the company that's so creative they named themselves after the chronic disaster they apparently fixed. But here's the kicker. The oxygen Chronocorp provides comes with a little extra something called the sickness. I mean, why settle for just surviving when you can have a fatal disease as a bonus? Humanity, always looking for ways to spice up its demise. So, we're on a ticking clock here, folks, with the human race having mere years left before becoming the extinct species we were always meant to be. Now, let me introduce you to our protagonist, the one and only Ethan White, a resident of the Australian city that dodged extinction. He's not your average Joe. No, he's a mechanic working for the saviors at Chronocorp, tirelessly fixing the very machines that keep humanity on life support. What a hero. Ethan's not alone in this journey of oxygen-fueled excitement. He's got his sidekick, Jude, because every hero needs a buddy in a world on the brink of collapse. The dynamic duo works in the trenches of Chronocorp, keeping the gears of this life-saving corporation turning. What a glamorous job. But wait, the plot thickens as Regina Jackson, the CTO of Chronocorp, summons our dynamic duo. She bursts into the scene, revealing the not-so-shocking news that humanity is on its deathbed, and Ethan is the chosen one. Cue the eye rolls. Regina insists Ethan visit their high-tech lab, where Dr. Billy Mitchell, the lab doctor, takes a second to inspect Ethan's wrist device. They drop the bombshell that Ethan's dad, Dr. Richard White, started this whole madness 2 decades ago. Kudos to him for predicting the apocalypse and leaving his son to clean up the mess. Now prepare yourselves for the grand reveal. The lab has a colossal time machine named the Chronicle. Yeah, they went all out with the naming. In the first ever experiment, they sent radio waves into it because apparently that's how time travel works. Lo and behold, they discovered that in 2474, Earth will magically sprout enough vegetation to sustain human life. Who would have thought? But here's the twist. The messages they sent into the future came back all jazzed up. Decoding the mystery, they find out that someone from the future sent a message, and guess what it says? Send Ethan White. Now Regina, with the subtlety of a sledgehammer, reveals their master plan. They want Ethan to leap into the future, snag a cure, and save humanity. Ethan, being the Einstein that he is, doesn't buy it. He thinks Regina is just bluffing, and who can blame him? Leaving a sick wife behind to embark on a time-traveling escapade? No thank you. Cut to Ethan and Jude at a diner, sipping on their crisp. Jude, the voice of reason in this dystopian sitcom, tries to persuade Ethan to embrace his destiny and become the savior of humanity. Because nothing says hero like abandoning your sick wife for a leap into the unknown. Oh, buckle up for the thrilling saga of Ethan and his daddy issues. So, here's Ethan, our brooding hero, laughing in the face of reason. Why, you ask? He really doesn't want to be like his dad, who left his family for saving the humanity. Daddy dearest disappeared 20 years ago, leaving Ethan to fend for himself, and oh, did I mention his mom got the short end of the stick too? Killed when he was just a tot. But hey, no emotional baggage here, right? Enter Jude, the stand-in older brother and bestie, who had the audacity to complete Daddy's pet project instead of being a responsible parent. Ethan, the ingrate, blames his dad for the whole mom left in the lurch situation. But Jude, the master persuader, manages to convince Ethan that saving his sick wife requires a grand time-traveling adventure. As if that's not enough, we're treated to a delightful flashback of Ethan's 8th birthday, the day Daddy Richard decided to be Father of the Year by gifting his son a mysterious box. And what's in this magical box? A device that latches onto his wrist, making him bleed. Ah, the joys of childhood memories. Richard, the parenting genius, gifted his son a permanent hand device. Now, back at home, Ethan pours his heart out to his sick wife, Xanthi. And, of course, Xanthi, in her infinite wisdom, insists that Ethan takes on the quest. Because who needs husbands when there's a chance for a cure? So, the following morning, armed with determination and possibly a misplaced sense of responsibility, Ethan leaves a poetic message on a metal flower for Xanthi. He then heads to Regina's office, probably wondering why he's willingly signed up for this circus, and promises that if there's only one cure, it better go to Xanthi. Regina, in a surprising turn of events, agrees. I mean, who could resist such a noble sacrifice? Now, let's talk about the mission. Surprise, surprise, they don't have a plan. But fear not, they hand Ethan an AI device named Archie. Archie's role, to show Ethan's vitals and help him navigate through the unknown. And now, they toss Ethan into the time machine. Inside, he's zooming through time faster than you can say plot hole. He crash lands in a jungle, and oh, what a shocker. The air friction sets his suit on fire. Quick thinking, Ethan decides to ditch the flaming suit. But lo and behold, the world has changed. Nature is back, trees are doing their tree thing, and the air is fresher than the plot twists in this story. Archie guides our hero to a mysterious bunker door, but hold on, there's a little hiccup. A skeleton with a bullet hole in the skull right in front of the door. And whose name does he see on that name tag? Drumroll, please. Ethan's. But wait, there's more. Ethan stumbles upon the skeleton's Archie, plays the last recording, and finds a man saying something cryptic about this being the only way and shooting Ethan. Just when you think it couldn't get any more melodramatic, the device's power goes off. Ethan, in a moment of sheer brilliance, decides this must be his fate. Oh, but the drama doesn't end there. Ethan notices the wrist device on the skeleton, identical to his, except for one tiny detail. The light on the skeleton's device is green, while Ethan's has been stuck on red his whole darn life. And to cap it all off, Ethan, in a genius move, decides to feast on wild berries. Guess what? They're poisonous. Bravo, Ethan, bravo. So our dear Ethan, the picture of health, decides to host a little throwing up party. But fear not, after a brief unconscious nap, he wakes up to the surprise of the century. Jude, his savior, standing right there. But wait, Ethan and Jude discover that Ethan's future self, in all his skeletal glory, is still chilling in the same spot. Because, you know, time travel is a breeze. Undeterred by this revelation, they enlist the help of Archie, the AI wizard, to locate a door. Lo and behold, they find a door that apparently only opens if your eye gets a little high-tech scan. Fancy, right? Inside, they're greeted by a monitor demanding a DNA sample. Ethan, in a moment of absolute brilliance, says, "Sure, take my blood. What could go wrong?" Surprise. His wrist device starts working, and the room lights up like a futuristic disco party. Jude's over the moon because finally, they have the golden ticket to return to the past. But Ethan, the eternal pessimist, reigns on the parade. He's convinced they've changed nothing, and his destiny is still set on the dead guy in the jungle track. But hold on, daddy issues make a comeback as Ethan checks the system log and stumbles upon a holographic recording from his pops. Surprise revelation. The time machine was initially designed for some oxygen data collection gig. Daddy Richard, being the responsible dad he is, received a message from the future asking for Ethan's VIP pass to the time travel fiesta. So without consulting Ethan's busy schedule, he made the call and even left a DNA verification for added drama. But oh no, the time machine is on its last leg. Its battery nearly drained after 407 years of time. And guess what? The lab's activation triggers a nuclear power core meltdown, threatening to turn the place into a futuristic fireworks display in just 4 hours. Cue the dramatic ticking clock sound effect. Now, our dynamic duo is faced with a choice. Fix the time machine or become part of a radioactive fireworks show. Time is of the essence. But of course, they decide to take a stroll outside. Surprise, surprise. The world is a post-apocalyptic paradise with green plants and no humans. Earth is doing a little spring cleaning, post-human extinction, complete with skeletons as decorative lawn ornaments. Ethan, ever the romantic, rushes to his wife's house, only to find her bones. Cue the violins, folks. It's despair time. Jude, ever the voice of reason, or maybe not, tries to persuade Ethan to return to the past. Apparently, the cure for the sickness is as elusive as a plot twist in this story. But Ethan, being the skeptic he is, turns on the rusty Archie to play the recording again. Surprise, surprise, again. Jude's voice is on the recording, and it seems he's the one who shot Ethan. Drama alert. Jude, in true villain fashion, denies everything, raising his gun at Ethan. But hold on to your disbelief, because Ethan decides to prioritize the mission over sorting out their trust issues. With some good old teamwork, they manage to fix the power core and zoom back to the lab, where the Chronicle system is now a shining beacon of time-traveling hope. Or is it? As the countdown begins, Ethan, in a shocking turn of events, finds his body still behind a door at the same location, which means they still have not changed anything in future to change their past. Ethan, our hero, decides he needs a truth serum, so what does he do? He exchanges the battery of the old Archie with the new one. With the rusty Archie now on life support, Ethan gets a front row seat to a video revelation. He learns that Jude, his dear brother from another mother, is planning to off him in the future. What a heartwarming family dynamic we've got here. But hold on to your time-traveling hats, because Jude spills the beans, confessing that changing the future is as likely as finding a unicorn in a desert. He's just trying to play bodyguard for Ethan, or so he claims. Unable to digest this nugget of wisdom, Ethan does what any rational person would do. He locks Jude up in a room. But wait, there's more drama on the horizon. Ethan decides to dig deeper into the family's secrets, playing back his father's holographic log like it's the hottest reality TV show. Lo and behold, a conversation unfolds between Daddy Richard and Regina Jackson, the CTO of Chronocorp. Turns out, Daddy wanted to save humanity with the time machine. But Regina, the visionary that she is, just wanted to save her privileged pals. Decisions, decisions. Oh, and guess what? Daddy Dearest locks the time machine and sets Ethan's DNA as the golden ticket for verification. Regina, in a fit of rage, ends Daddy's time-traveling dreams with a swift bullet. But that's not all, folks. Regina, in true villain fashion, orders Jude to off Ethan's mom and be the overprotective babysitter to young Ethan. Why? So that one day, they can exploit Ethan's wristband to access the future. The brotherly figure turns out to be the family Terminator. Can you feel the love? Ethan, in a state of shock larger than the plot holes in this story, realizes he's misunderstood Daddy Richard all this time. The old man didn't abandon ship willingly. He was just busy playing the hero. Armed with the knowledge that Regina wants to play Future Select, Ethan tries to pull the plug on the time machine. But hold your horses. Jude's on a mission. He reveals that he's been tasked by Regina to make sure Ethan goes back in time and fixes a power failure. As the time machine fires up, Jude spills the beans, revealing that he's supposed to kill Ethan once the machine is operational. However, the plot thickens yet again because Jude has developed feelings for Ethan over the years. The guilt overwhelms him, and instead of following through with the plan, he takes the easy way out and shoots himself. Talk about a dramatic exit. Ethan, now a one-man show of rage and regret, decides he's going to honor Daddy's last wish. He peeks into the monitor, uncovers the first message Daddy Richard ever sent. Send Ethan White. And who sent this profound message? Drumroll, please. It was Ethan himself. Cue the timey-wimey paradox. In a fit of inspiration, Ethan codes in the message once again and sends it hurtling into the past, along with a bunch of other random things. Meanwhile, in the futuristic laboratory of 2067, Regina and her privileged posse are eagerly awaiting their escape plan. But, oh dear, Ethan's time-traveling surprise package arrives. Extinct plants and a recorded homicide scene. In a twist of fate, Ethan takes a sledgehammer to the time machine, ending Regina's grand plan. The cherry on top? Regina gets arrested for murder, and the plants sent back to 2067 become the horticultural saviors of the planet. Ethan, being the romantic hero he is, sends a flower to his wife, explaining his choices. And what does Ethan do in the end? He has to stay in the future world alone, burying Jude with a sigh of forgiveness, because nothing says closure like a time-traveling soap opera. So there's Ethan, probably contemplating the mysteries of life or deciding what's for dinner, when out of nowhere, this butterfly becomes the Gandalf of insects, guiding him back to the same entrance. And what does he find? The corpse of his future self has pulled a disappearing act. Move aside, David Copperfield. We've got a real vanishing act here.